Hello, everyone. My name is Alex. Welcome to my senior capstone proposal. A little bit about me. I graduated from Castle High School. I transferred over to UHWO from Windward Community College, and I'm now working toward my degree in creative media, concentrating in video game design and development. So here's my executive summary. We're going to go through my plan for the senior capstone, the thesis statement, the objective of the research I conducted, and the significance of my project. So my basic thesis for my research project was that video games are the most ideal medium for the horror genre because of the flexibility player interaction grants creators. The objective of this research was to analyze the appeal of the horror genre, the methods different mediums use to create horror, and to better understand how video games have improved and expanded on those methods in order to learn how to best implement them in my own projects. My senior capstone plans are to deliver a project, in this case, a working proof of concept for a full 2D side-scrolling horror puzzle platformer game. A bit of a mouthful, but I can explain it later. This will enable me to showcase what I've learned from my research about how the horror genre works in a video game format. So the significance of this project, this will be my first time coding a full proof of concept and working through the game design process in its entirety alone. So I have worked on other projects before. As you can see on the left, I've worked on Windward Chicken Chasers, which is WCC's app game thing. But I am on the design team for that project, so I haven't really touched the code before. And I really want to use this opportunity to kind of showcase what I've learned both from my research and from my classes and create a fun and hopefully scary experience that can be turned into a full game at a later date. The target audience for this project would be video game players who are ideally interested in horror and puzzle narrative games, ages 16 and up, because I don't want to traumatize anyone. And I think it could also be targeted at general horror enthusiasts since it's not technically complicated as far as player interaction goes, but also ages 16 and up. So the prep and process for this project during the pre-production phase would be a lot of planning. So the story game, beat mockups, level design planning, character designs, all that good stuff. And then once I get into production, I'll be looking at the code, the art, the sound, making sure that the game actually, functions. And then for the post-production phase, that will be where I'm playtesting everything that I've already done and possibly going back to the production phase if something's not working quite right. As well as compiling all of my documentation that I did throughout the semester and putting it into a video format. So it's kind of easy to consume. So as I mentioned, for my deliverable, there will be a video compiling the documentation, but the actual proof of concept itself will be a 2D side scroller puzzle platformer with narrative elements and the beginnings of the system that will lead to multiple endings. So I'm kind of taking inspiration from Little Nightmares and Limbo, which you can see on the left there. The mechanics for this game will include basic movement, so left and right, but also sprinting, crouching, jumping, climbing, and pushing and pulling items. I'd also like to implement an inventory system and a dialogue system that is choice-based, so it can lead to those multiple branching endings, and a movable camera that can move separate from the player. So these are some concept sketches that I've got so far. It's very bare bones at the moment, but you can see in the top left, that's the overall feel that I kind of want for the game, kind of a whimsical horror experience. On the bottom there, below that sketch is a basic storyboard for a beginning cutscene. And then to the right there is a level design for the tutorial kind of zone, or at least where it's at right now. And these are some of the character design sketches. So on the very left, we've got the main character in the middle there and his talking skull companion that will kind of guide the player through the game. In the middle to the right is the very beginnings of what the main bad guy kind of will look like. Again, it's very rough, but I just kind of wanted to get something down to get an idea. And then to the very right, I also wanted to kind of really nail down the mechanics of how the face opens up for the main character. So I did a little short animation for a talking character portrait that would pop up next to text boxes. So thank you for listening. And do you have any questions?